Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Big Mike, and it is Morning Talk with Mike. It is a beautiful Friday outside. We have had some terrible weather over the last 4 or 5 days, 6 days, to including Saturday at Mid-America. And I know everybody's been inundated by everybody's video about Mid-America, and we had a great time. We had a little setback on Saturday, and some people had to leave to beat the storm. But the people from Oklahoma stayed strong. People from Missouri and areas that get a lot of tornadoes, we held strong, and we fought through it. No tornadoes at the meetup. Just some heavy winds and some heavy rain for a little bit, but we made it through it, and I'm glad everybody's here. Today, live is sponsored by Heard That! And Heard That Outdoors, our good friends Julie and Randy. And the reason I say that is because the next meetup that we are going to is Pinecone Fest. Now, Pinecone Fest, and I should bring this up. Pinecone Fest is October 10th through the 13th of 2025. It's at Walleye Park on Lake Cypress Springs in Mount Vernon, Texas. To make reservations, go to the Franklin County Water District or fcwd.com to make your reservations, whether you're tent camping or whether you're RV camping, whatever. And you can only make your reservations 90 days in advance. So I'm guessing around August 10th is a good time. Walleye Park has full hookup sites at $65 per night, and that gives you water, electric, sewer, and 5G connectivity. Full hookups for seniors for the park is $55. So if you're 65 or older, I don't qualify yet. In January, I guess in the 2026, I qualify for the senior discount. So I get $10 off next year. Walleye Park regular sites, which Terrie and I get, is $50 per night, and seniors get it for $40. Walleye tent camping, tent sites are $25 per night. And you get nothing. Now, you are allowed to have a tent because some people bring travel trailers and they have a guest and they'll tent camp next to them. So you can have that tent camping. But you have to go to the Franklin County Water District to make your reservations. We tried. They won't let you do it until you're 90 days out. So that's what we'll do. Hey, also, guys, up at the top, we have pinned the link if you want to come up on panel and talk to me about anything. Hey, Liberty Layers Hideout, there's Bodie. Rainy Ridge is here. Merns Pacquiao, Paranormal Walks is here. Rebecca Touched by Yarn is here. Jennifer Ocean Homestead. John Goes Outdoors, and there's Wendy Hardneck Farms. All right, John Goes Outdoors. I think I said that. Carolyn Messer, welcome in. And that's who we've got so far. But yeah, there's our good friend Merns Pacquiao. If you're not friends with her, you need to be. She is a awesome supporter getting your channel out to people you may never even heard of in different countries and stuff like that. I join her most every morning on her morning show or her evening show. For me, it's morning because they're 14 hours ahead of us over in the Philippines. But yeah, we absolutely love Merms. There's figuring it out with catfish. Jovita Navarro. Hola, Jovita. There's Minty Cactus, our good friend out in Tucson, Arizona area. And there's Rhonda Dotson, the bride of figuring it out with catfish. All right. So, guys, I'm going to tell you, I don't know why our federal government is spending so much money trying to rein in our president. And I say that because every time he turns left or he turns right or he makes a decision at the executive level, some federal judge, somebody petitions and tries to put an injunction in on our president to do his daily work. Now, it is beyond me why people don't want things to change for the better. Okay? I'm going to bring my Mr. Know-It-All. And I'm not saying that in a bad way, but this guy has an answer for everything. Okay? I don't care if it's world politics, if it's planting corn, if it's about a cow, if it's about a tractor, or if you're having problems in your marriage. This guy's got an answer for it all. There he is. Paul Case is here, guys.
Do what she says. That's the answer.
There's the answer.
Do
Happy
what
life.
she says.
Happy life. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My happy wife is still in bed.
Mine too.
There you go. So good morning to you, Paul. Now, I will tell you, Supreme Court upholds Trump's removal of Biden's appointees from the federal boards. Okay. Now, remember, he went in there and the federal labor division of the government and said, "You guys suck." And he fired them. Okay. He fired people off their board and says, "You know what? You're not doing what you're paid to be doing." And the Dems got so upset, they found a federal judge because they're out there, and tried to put an injunction against the president for doing what's outlined as his duties as the senior executive of the United States. You know, the guy who nominates federal judges. Okay. Now, why in the world can you have the power to nominate a federal judge, but you don't have the power to fire that judge?
Mike, the truth is, and they've figured this out, he don't even know what he did.
Yeah.
So was it him doing it? We don't know. The deal where they signed stuff for him using an auto pen.
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up. But the majority apparently elected Trump, and he's who we've got, and he's working at doing what he said he'd do. So
Yeah.
He can do his job, you know. That's kind of like
But,
me driving a tractor down the road. It may stink and it's slow, but it's a necessary evil for me to get from one field to another so I can be able to do my job.
sure.
And like right now, somehow I've frozen my picture, but you can still hear my voice.
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear. I just need to see your face.
I don't know
You-
why it quit. It just froze.
Well,
I
I
didn't.
mean, you could have had a worse face looking or doing something when it froze, but that's good. That represents Paul Case.
Praise the Lord, I wasn't picking my nose. Is that what you just said?
See, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
So, I guess what astounds me is the Supreme Court said, "Hey, as the executive, he has the power to fire and hire anybody he wants." Now, these positions are not elected positions, these are appointed. You apply for a job, you get hired, hey, you get fired. Okay. It's different than somebody that is elected into a position. Okay. And these positions are supposed to support the president. Now, everybody knows, and I worked for the government for 45 years, that you have both liberal, Republican, independents, uh, and people who are affiliated with no political party working for the government. Okay. And you can't just go in there and weed out, say, okay, the Republicans are in, let's fire all the Dems because we know they'll be up to no good and we'll fire them, and vice versa if there's a Democratic person in there. Now, the cabinet seats are, they're all Republicans right now because the Democrats, you're gone, Republicans are in, and it may change on the next election or whatever. But every time he turns around, there's a federal injunction for something. You are kicking out people on the terrorist watch list. You are kicking out people committing crimes and murdering people and stuff like that. And the Dems feel, hey, we need to put an injunction and stop this. And we're going to go down there and have margaritas with, or beers with, the guys that have been wrongly shipped out of the country. Now, if that's your sword to fall on, you're an idiot. Okay. And, I mean, people who are part of MS-13 and Trinidad Aragua or any terrorist watch list, if your sword to fall on is to support them, I don't think there's a whole lot of Democrats that are going, hey, that's a good idea. You know, I mean, if you want people who's just murdered people to stay here, and all we have to do is pay $6 million a year to El Salvador, and they'll stick them in prison. It costs more than that to house them here in the United States. Okay. Plus, they're not even citizens of the United States. The ones we sent down there were from El Salvador. Their president says, "Yeah, you ain't getting these guys back. I don't care what you say. They're El Salvadorian citizens." Same thing with Colombia. Same thing with all these other countries. So people don't like the way it's going. So let's just hinder it and slow it down. When he has done more in the first 100 days than most presidents can do in 4 years. So I just don't understand it. But now the Supreme Court steps in and says, you know what? You can remove anybody you want because that's at the executive level. And that's the president's privilege. He has to trust who is on his direct cabinet boards. So there you go. Another case won by the president, and those people are out of a job. And they're going to replace those people with people who are, and I hate to say this, in line with what the president wants to do. Okay. Now, we did find out the other day that the House just passed the big beautiful bill, and inside there is no tips, no tax on tips, uh, no tax on Social Security, bringing down the corporate rate from 35 to 21, which brings jobs back into the United States. Okay. And people don't, they just want to bitch and complain, but it brings people back. They're leaving because the corporate tax was at 35%. So that means every dollar you got to give the government 35 cents. Okay.
Well, that's got me thinking about seeing if I can get all of my income changed over to tips. Like when I sell, don't take a drink when I say this. When I sell beef cattle, can we just call those beef tips? And so people are buying a tip from me, and then all of my income would be tax deductible and no
There you go.
tax on it. And so, like, what if I somebody came on my YouTube channel and gave me a big super chat or something, and could we just call that a tip? Or maybe I could help other people out like this. Whenever they buy lumber from me, I could say, hang on, I'll give you the lumber for free, but you have to give me a tip, and this is the amount of the tip, and here's the advice you're paying for. Don't treat this like normal lumber.
I need 100% tip on this service I'm providing you.
There you go, 100% tip, and we'll all be and so then you won't need the federal government to cut taxes. We will have completely cut taxes out, and where there's no money, people cease to try to go get a job there. Have you ever noticed that? Boy, the oil field boom, there'll be a whole bunch of people that want to be employed in the oil industry. And when there's no more money there, though, they it kind of dries up. So if our federal government dried up a little bit, there wouldn't be people seeking employment there. They'd have to go make their own means.
So Terrie gave me this, and it says, yes, super chats on YouTube are essentially a form of tipping.
Yeah.
They allow viewers to pay money to have their message highlighted in live chats, making them more visible and engaging. This can be seen as a way for viewers to directly support the creator and their show they appreciate.
I like what Wendy had to say. We've been sending stuff to China so they can make little trinkets and junk and send back to us, and it all winds up in the landfill in 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Let's stop this cycle. It's insanity.
Yeah. Hey, there's Evelyn Newman.
However,
there's Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank. Welcome in. There is Glenn and Shannon Salty Life down there in Mississippi.
Maybe we could even just give Miss Terrie some money this morning for the tip she gave us.
Yeah, I mean, tip away. I'm good. Hey, there's Husky Edna down in Australia land. Good evening, good morning. They're like a day ahead of us. Let's see. We said hello to Liberty Layer Hideout. What she had to say? I'm ready to get all the American-made stuff back. I agree. We have turned into a disposable society. If your TV goes out, you name me where there's a TV repairman. Not like when I was a kid and you had to lug those big tubed TVs. I'm doing this. It takes 2 people to pick the old TVs up, and you took it down to the shop, Bob's TV Repair or whatever. There's no TV repair. You throw it out, okay, or you put it out in your burn pile and you burn it because it's all plastic, and you go get another one. Because we just looked. I remember when we bought our first. I remember when the big screens came out. The 65s were like $1,500. The 75s were $2,000. And now you go down to the Walmart and $4.99 for a 75-inch TV. You know?
Well, and then there's this other thing. I have never had a huge TV like that, but if it's
Oh,
so
dude, you
hard
love
to
it.
see that huge TV, shouldn't you just buy a little stronger glasses? And I think you could go to the dollar store, maybe get a pair of them for $10.
I think you buy the bigger one so you don't need your glasses.
Oh, I got you. It's a convenience thing.
Well, yeah. I mean, we got a 75 in the living room. We got a 75 in the bedroom.
My,
Now, I tell you something. People are pretty big on the 75.
my folks have their living room TV set on the wall in their living room, and it's right across from what used to be, we called it the picture window on the
Mhm.
front of their house. And so you can tell if they're in there watching TV from out in
There
the
you
drive.
go.
And
They're home. They're home.
my folks even usually would have elephant ear plants planted across the front of the house, and we
Yeah.
have watched the hummingbirds come up there and land in the elephant ears, and they left because they didn't like what was on TV. That's
Yeah.
what I'm sure of. Yeah.
Yeah. I seen people have, there's animals like, I've seen some video where a horse is outside their window every night. And until they shut off the TV, the horse doesn't go to bed. He just sits there and watches the TV. Hey, there's Southern Blessed Homestead.
He would like my dad's TV because dad watches a lot of rodeo.
Yeah. And that's cool on a big screen TV.
You can see it better than you could if you were
Now
there.
I seen a video where this channel goes around when you buy what was that, hun? 120-inch TV?
Yeah.
120-inch TV. It takes two people lifting and one person making sure you don't hit anything to move those things. And in fact, they're so big that in the box, okay, they have these rods. They're about this big, enough to grip your hand. And then you have to screw two on each side of the TV on both sides just to pick that thing up so you don't drop it and set it where you want to set it. Now, if you think that little stud in the wall is going to hold it, I think that the mount on it is like 4 foot across. So you got to make sure if you're going to put it into studs, you know, if are you 16-inch on center or are you 24 on center? So you'll know that when you put the bracket up, because I think it takes 16 screws to put that thing so you can mount it on a wall. Or it has legs and you can have a cabinet or something and you can set it on there. To me, you know, because this family that was doing it, they have 2 large dogs in the house. And that scares me when something comes on the TV and a dog, for some reason, loses its mind and goes after your TV. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's funny if you caught it on video, but the cost.
If he runs into the middle of it and breaks it, it could get expensive.
Yeah, that's crazy. Hey, let's see. We said hello to everybody, I think. I'm trying to catch up to the bottom. Hey, there's David Glunt in Delaware. Welcome in.
I've seen Tim and Dana Mason's in here, one of them.
All right. Husky Edna been a member for 17 months. Love her. There's Tony Smiles is in here.
I have heard numerous people talking about how good the meetup was. So good on you, Mike, for putting on such a good meetup. I know you.
I'm going to tell you that I was exhausted for 2 days after the meetup.
Yep.
By the time we got home, we We gave away everything that people could use, meaning all the support stuff, bread, watermelon, mustard, mayonnaise, relish, hot dogs. In fact, we gave somebody a big 40 pack of bun size wieners. They took those. We gave away, if there was water, we gave it away. We gave away everything that we did not use because we planned for 300. And we got 179 people there.
Yeah.
And we fed 3 meals, 2 breakfasts, 1 dinner, and the dinner was a potluck, but it still takes plates and cups and forks and knives and, all that stuff to put it on, napkins, paper towels, so we gave away everything. We did not want to haul it back. And we still hauled back, I don't know, 10 packs of buns, bread rolls, but our chickens are eating good.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they love that.
Go out there and tear it apart and they eat it. It's a little treat for them because the chicken's basically, a baby dinosaur and they'll eat anything. So that's what we're doing every day. They get a pack of buns. We came back with so many egg cartons because we were running short on them. And I think that the only thing that we were surprised about is I think somebody brought some eggs and I think they were left on the counter a little bit too long. Oh, yeah. And Angie started cracking eggs. By the way, Angie cracked a lot of eggs. Terrie cracked a lot of eggs. But she got the first 18 pack that somebody had brought and she cracked it and it was full of blood. Nothing wrong with that. It's still edible, but the brain doesn't want to eat something like that, right?
Yep.
And then she cracked the second one and it was green and partially formed.
Yeah.
So we said, well, if the first 2 eggs are like that, we may not want to use this 18 pack. So she was inspecting everything because they're farm eggs. And but we had a great time. I mean, I can tell you right now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 36. They're the same stack. 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 45, over 45 dozen eggs. We prepared at the meetup, probably a lot higher than that. Yeah. We did 8 or 9 pounds of bacon each day. We did 9 pounds each day of sausage. Second day we did 10. We made all those eggs for breakfast, made pounds and pounds of hash browns, and then we had watermelon for breakfast and cookies and cakes and then the potluck. And then it was just absolutely awesome. We went out to dinner on Thursday for the early arrivers. We went to Captain John's on the water, had a great meal there, a lot of conversation. We took a picture. In fact, we've got it on our people have put it up on their Facebooks and stuff. And then Friday, we had another dinner. I think we had like 16 or 14 or 16 on the Thursday night. Then we had 49 people. We went out to dinner at La Finca, a Mexican grill. And I told everybody, I said, this is absolutely good food. I've eaten there twice. And they're saying, oh, everybody says that. But when you go in there and when you sit down and you see a table a big table full of Mexican workers, not going to say their status, are eating and watching soccer, you know that it's a good Mexican restaurant.
Could be authentic.
Yes. And, but between that, because usually you go into a Mexican restaurant, it's a bunch of gringos, people like you and me eating in there. And the staff is usually, predominantly Mexican American. And that's who you see in a Mexican restaurant. Why? Because in Mexico, they don't call it Mexican food. They just call it food. It's kind of like China. Yeah. We call it Chinese food. They just call it food. Okay. And they can make their own food at the house. So you don't see a lot of that. But in this one, the food was just absolutely awesome. We had a good time there. And then, of course, the storm hit on Saturday and some people left. But diehard Oklahomans, they stayed there and they said, man, this ain't nothing. Okay.
They probably was thinking if we was home, we'd be standing on our porch watching.
Yeah, exactly. Had the front door open and looking at the wind going by. It's kind of cool. But yeah, we had a good time at the meetup, gave away 300 giveaway prizes. 300. We beat our record. We didn't go over the 3-hour mark in giveaways. Auntie Ann dressed up as Smurfette. She painted her face and everything, had her blue leotard on and her dress and all that stuff. And she handed out gifts to the kids and then bags and bags of candy. We made sure every kid had a bag of candy. And then we gave away the rest of them to the adult kids that wanted candy. So, yeah, we had a good time. Had a real good time. And we're getting ready. Terrie is heading to Missouri. She will be going to Jan's meetup at Lake Terre.
I wanted that to be a surprise.
Oh, well. She wanted it to be a surprise. Cat's out the bag. So yeah, she's gonna head down there. While she's down there, she's gonna see family, her mom, her uncle, and stuff like that. So she's gonna be doing that. And I think I asked her she might take. I asked her to take.
I won't be able to take Mackenzie because somebody's got a lot question.
Take them both. They'd have a good time. Yeah, told them to take the grandkids just to keep her, on her toes. So, yeah, she's going to do that. And then, like I said, we're getting ready for Pinecone Fest. Also, we're going to be heading to Tennessee to go to Tim's place for 4th of July. So we're looking forward to that. So we'll be over in West Tennessee. There's Tim Mason.
I've got some plans coming up. I plan to go to the hayfield if it ever dries out to where I can make hay. Yeah.
Well, right before this last storm hit, they had already cut and baled and wrapped. They used the white wrap. So they had all those wrapped and everything before the storm came.
Do you know what that is? They're actually making something there that's different than just hay. They bale at high moisture and then put that wrap on it and it ensiles. And so what they're making is called baleage, but it's basically a bale that is silage.
Oh, okay.
And it ensiles and it will, it changes completely, but they're able to get that moisture. As that moisture dries out, sometimes it takes some nutrients with it. And so they're able to make stuff that's more nutrient dense.
I see.
Bale like that.
Yeah.
If they can keep the air out, you have to not let it have any air. If it gets any air, it'll spoil and mold and everything and go bad. But the bales that you see that you can actually see grass on, like that are string tied, or on the net wrap ones, you can at least see it on the end. They were trying to put that up dry. And there's quite a few people around us able to put some up dry.
Yeah.
I'm kind of in a little bit of a pinch. I'm a little bit shorter on hay ground this year, and I've got to have a certain amount of it to be able to do what I usually do. So I'm going to wait just a little bit, but it looks like we might get a whole scad of rain. And
Yeah.
have to wait on the ground to dry out so we can get in maybe after that. I've seen some names in your chat that I'm not used to. Carolyn Messer said it was her first meetup to go, and I don't know if I met Carolyn, but welcome, Carolyn. I wasn't at the meetup, but I do have a channel, and it's Paul Case Farms, and I'm not related to Mike, even though we look just alike.
Yeah.
And
twin brothers of different mothers.
Leanne Gunther, welcome. And I seen somebody else in here I was wanting to say hi to.
That is Elsa Benavides. She's saying hello to us. MMLSO means mega, mega love shout out. So shout out to you also.
Love
There's
it.
Mary Yahoo, our good friend. Let's see.
And I've seen Tamra's in here. Hello, Tamra.
Yep, Heartland headquarters with Dink and Tank is in here.
Of course, you can't forget about Wendy. Wendy's my bestie, self-proclaimed.
I'm going to tell you what, that woman can work. She doesn't have a slow down button.
Yeah.
Go, 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 go. Every time I turn on, she goes, what do you want me to do next? I go, well, if I had a broom and mops, we'd have kept busy. But
watermelon rinds are fine for the chickens, but I prefer pork rinds. Those are my favorite rinds. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody that's ever met me had any doubt that I love to eat.
Hey, you don't get our size by not liking food.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to fried chicken. I just hope we don't get wet trying to go eat fried chicken. Rainy Ridge says, "Are you ready for fried chicken?" There might be a few of us that are going to go eat fried chicken.
Rebecca brought a spiral ham, and we cut that up for breakfast, and they chowed down on that.
That stuff is awesome.
We put it on the Blackstone, and people, man, they tore it up. So
I don't understand that. Whenever it comes time for a holiday where you might buy a ham, there's a little podunk grocery store, and they've got like 5 or 6 other grocery stores under their name in our 4-state area here. And you can go down there and buy one of them cooked spiral sliced hams, real reasonable. But if you go to Walmart and buy it, you can buy the same ham, same packaging and everything, and it will be twice as much as what it is at the little podunk grocery store. Explain that one to me.
Yeah. Tony at our cabin in the woods, he is our grill master. He has mastered the art of bacon cooking on a Blackstone. Every morning he cooked 8 to 9 pounds of bacon on the Blackstone. He had so much, he had a big mason jar underneath the drip funnel.
Yeah.
Because Chris at Leonard's Mountain Homestead made these one-of-a-kind drip funnels. Instead of having that little cup that fills up right away, he made this funnel out of metal and riveted it so it fit at the top. You had to hook it and then snap it underneath the bottom, and you just push the grease down this funnel into a big old mason jar. And then Tony's was full, and he had to put a pan underneath that, and he started filling up the pan. He cooked so much bacon. I was the morning sausage maker. The first day I sat there and I cut all these logs of sausage up and then patted them and put them on the grill. The second day I said, man, I had all day I could smell, pig fat. And,
how wonderful.
Then I had to clean my knife and all that stuff. And I said, well, the next day I went like this and I cut down the side and I threw it all on there as a log and I just started chopping. I said, "You're having chopped sausage this morning."
You bet. You bet.
And it tastes the same as the patty.
Oh, and you don't have to worry about cutting it like with a plastic fork or something.
And
breaking
sitting
your
there
fork.
smashing it with my hands. And I did that with 9 pounds of sausage the first day. So my hands were just slick. But they're really soft now. So think about that, people. Pig fat. Food was wonderful. And going out to it was yeah, it was. I'm going to tell you something. The life of the party, I will tell you right now, I don't care where she was at, was Nana. Learn with Nana, David at Come On's mama. That woman, everybody was talking, but you could hear her speak over everybody and laugh. Between her and the Ramblin' Peach, okay, Carolyn, those two, they were sitting across from each other, and I'm going to tell you something. They had a blast. And if you sat with Nana long enough, you'd find out the true history of David at Come On. And I don't think David appreciated that. Loved seeing his mama. But yeah, if you ask her, if that's one woman, if you ask her a question, she's going to give you the truth. All
Did
right?
you get to go with us to the Princess Diner?
I did.
So did you know the whole story about what happened when that waitress said to Greg that she didn't care? Well, she had been doing a really good job. She come by and was filling our drinks and checking on us regular, even though she had her hands real full.
Yeah.
And when she set your food down in front of you, it was right. I didn't sit anywhere close to anybody that didn't get exactly what they ordered. And I guess Greg had been giving her a hard time.
Yeah.
And she came back and handed me our ticket and asked if we needed anything else. And I told her I thought we was fine, but she was wearing somebody's channel sticker right in the middle of her chest. And I said, "Oh, you've met so-and-so." Well, I have a YouTube channel too. And I told her the name of my channel. And I could tell she was almost not paying attention at all. She was busy. And she said, "Oh, okay, thanks." And then Greg pipes up and says, "I've got a YouTube channel too." And she just looked at him and flat out said, "I don't care."
Everybody's got one in here.
Yeah, everybody here's got one. But he had been giving her a hard time. And
Yeah.
I guess she dished a little back. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah. Hey, there's Troy Sutton. He's here. Good to see you, Troy. Good to see you at the meetup. Came all the way from West Virginia to the meetup. There is our good friend Leanne Gunther. Welcome in. Let me see.
It was funny.
Ooh, that just jumped. Wendy says, "Paul Case Farms, my bestie."
Hey, if you be really quiet, you can hear a noise in the background.
What's that?
Anita snoring.
Oh.
It's her day off. She gets sometimes on Friday. The other grandma keeps the grandkids, so
There's Lynn McGee. Welcome in, my friend.
I could not convince her to get out of bed and make me coffee, Mike. I don't know if this relationship's going to work out. I mean,
well, Terrie made it simple. She has this big old Keurig, and it has a pot that never gets used. And then you have the cup that does 6, 8, 10, or 12 ounce cups. So she made it simple, gave me a class. Another reason not to get out of bed when I get out of bed. So, I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
I tried to record Anita snoring one time on my phone and play it back to her, and it didn't sound like her. She said, "I think you've been video or recording somebody else snoring. That's not me." And I'm like, "I do not sleep with anybody else, darling."
There's our good friend Nanny Tam in the house. Let's see. Angie told me the camper smells like bacon the next month. It was probably all your clothes that you were wearing.
Yeah, that bacon smells kind of like going into a smokehouse place and buying
Yeah.
smoked meat. If it don't smell like smoke on you when you come out of there, were you ever really at a place where they smoke meat?
I didn't know that. So there you go. My hands are very supple from all that pork. Yeah. That girl got around. Nana got around at the meetup. She even talked AK Bill to take her for a ride so she could do a short to send out because she wanted her husband to know that she was riding around with a younger man in a blue Mustang convertible. And I said, ain't he going to get mad? She goes, nope. She goes, I'm just giving him the green light to buy one.
Holy cow, there's our friend from across the pond, Paul Honeyman.
Paul Honeyman's in the house. I am scrolling, making sure I say hello to everybody. There he is. There is our good friend, Sir Paul. He has been knighted by me. Because in my former life, I was a knight in England, so a knight can anoint a knight. Okay. People don't believe in former lives, but I do. And I have dreams about stuff like that. Is that weird? I mean, out of the blue, I'd be, over there on the Crusades and stuff like that. And it's kind of weird. And people say, hey, those are memories from your former life. I don't know if people believe in that or not, but then when we did our genealogy and everything, of course, part of our genealogy, the Joneses, comes from a Welsh background going into England. And then that is on the Joneses. And then my great-grandmother goes through Ireland and then up to Norway because she's a product of the Viking invasions and stuff like that. That's where her bloodline goes. And they were both baptized, and their families have been Catholics. So they were baptized, and there's all this. And that's a weird thing about genealogy. And I know, there's no pattern here. And Terry left the refrigerator door open too long.
Does the refrigerator have seat belts too?
Is if you were baptized, christened, or whatever in the churches, they had a record. But a lot of times you'll try to do your genealogy and all of a sudden it just ends and it's like nowhere. That just tells you that your family tree stopped back then. You could say in the 9th century, the 4th century, whatever, because they don't have a record to jump to because there was no baptisms, no christenings, no marriage in the church, or they weren't a knight or a nobleman or a lady or whatever. And that's where usually genealogy just stops when you get back into the 9th and 4th and 5th centuries. You can't go nowhere unless, and there was only one part of us through the Joneses that came through there and then went up to Norway because there's a family called the Ellermans that came from Norway, and they settled in Ireland. So we could go all the way up into that area. And one of them was some kind of, I think it stops somewhere in the 4th century. The Joneses does, because he was some kind of governor or whatever, some low level, and he did that by killing a foe. Because back then, to take over, you had to kill the person or whatever. And then it stops there, way back in the 4th century. So, but we all know where it ended, right? It ended in the Garden of Eden with 2 people, and the world is a crazy place, and I've always contended that, life on earth started with one man and one woman. Okay. And because man was there, and of course he was lonely. And God said, you need a good woman by your side. Right. And he said, and I'll make sure that there are good women in all corners of the earth.
And then he made the earth round.
Because
Hey, old Greg shared a poem with me the other day. I'd like to read for you.
Sure.
I'll split. I gotta go. I know
we even get poetry on this.
I have cattle that's needing counted today, like your chicken or like your egg cartons, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The title I'll tell you at the end, but the poem goes, one night I had a wondrous dream. One set of footprints there was seen, the footprints of my precious Lord, but mine were not along the shore. But then some stranger prints appeared, and I asked the Lord, what have we here? Those prints are large and round and neat, but Lord, they're far too big for feet. My child, he said in somber tones, for miles I carried you alone. I challenged you to walk in faith, but you refused and made me wait. You disobeyed and would not grow. The walk of faith you would not know. So I got tired and I got fed up, and there I dropped you on your butt. Because in life there comes a time we must fight and one must climb, when one must rise and take a stand, or leave their butt prints in the sand. Have a great day, everybody.
All right, Paul. All right. I seen Charlene Grady's in here. Of course, there is Liberty Layers Hideout, Bodie, and he is a member of the Knights Templar. I got asked to join that because I'm a 32nd degree Mason, which makes I'm a Shriner. I'm a Shriner. I am a Scottish Rite, and I do have a Blue Lodge, which is in Richland, Missouri. It's where I was born into Masonry. And yeah, it is, a lot of people don't really know about that. And some people go, oh, you're one of them. And, if you see the symbol for Masonry, you'll see the compass, the level. You'll see a big G on there. And G stands for whatever higher being or God that you believe in. So it's not just restricted to Christianity. It is your belief in a higher being. And Terrie walked in with her hands on her hip. I was born into Masonry at my Blue Lodge in Richland, Missouri, like I said, and then became a member of the Scottish Rite. And Terrie is taking stuff out to the shop. And then good to see a woman work while I'm just sitting here doing nothing but talking. And then I was asked, um, but I was like split in three different ways. And if you don't know it, well, it depends on what your Blue Lodge is focused on. And the Blue Lodge that I belong to is focused on kids with seeing impediment, if you will, helping out families that need help, kids who need eye surgery that are going blind and stuff like that. We raise money for that purpose and many other purposes. Um, so it gives you know what your focus is on. And then Scottish Rite, um, kids with hearing disabilities and stuff like that, they raise money to help that and many other things also. And then as a Shriner, you know that we raise money for Shriners Children's Hospital, whether it's a burn ward, it's a cancer center, whatever, that we raise money for that and many other things. But that's the main focus because all the Shriners Hospital, it takes millions of dollars a day to run them hospitals for those kids. And it just, you know, the goal of a Shriner, a goal of somebody in the Scottish Rite, so the goal of a Mason in general is to become a better man for your family, for your community, for your country. Just to service into your communities is a big thing with Masonry. So when you think of Masonry, you think of men who have dedicated their life to become a better man. And we need better men out there. Now, there's other organizations that, you know, people join, moose lodges, the elks, and yada, yada, yada. And they all have their great points, just like Masonry does. They also have their stigmas about, people have for stuff like that. But it's good. If it makes you a better man, do it. If it makes you feel good to help others, do it. It's just different things, and you get spread out. We've got that. We've got the YouTube channels. Then I'm a member of Combat Veterans Motorcycle Association, and we raise money for vets helping vets and programs that support veterans causes. So I'm retired and I'm busy, and it makes me just. I mean, and I roll over that same willing to give and help with our YouTube family. I would help anybody and everybody. So, that's who I am. Bodie, he is a brother of mine, both combat and also as a Mason. So it was absolutely awesome to see him at the meetup. Mike over at 3 Mississippi. He is a newly born Master Mason now, and support for him. He is in it for the right reasons to become a better man. We got those conversations going on at the meetups and stuff, along with channel, business and stuff like that. So just wanted to share that with you. Let's see. I want to make sure. There's Paul again. No, I wasn't calling her that. Paul. Paul, I'm going to tell you something, man. You might get beat up if you come to a meetup in the States by women. And I agree with you, Jennifer. Yeah, Adam and Eve's story is a creation of mankind, not humans. God created humans before bad beings used genetic manipulation to create mankind. Yeah, I mean, positively true. I mean, they've dug up bones and stuff like that, but maybe he was. Those were trial and error. I don't know, but I tell a lot of people, I would rather believe and be wrong when I die. I'd rather do that than not believe and then find out it's all true. You know, so that's just the way I am. Let's see. Yeah, Mike's our Masons. Yeah. Because before I was on YouTube, I mean, and I lived in Missouri. I lived in Missouri from the 90s into 2009. I was knee deep in masonry, anything and everything. I didn't have a YouTube channel or nothing like that. Heck, we didn't even have cell phones. I didn't get my first cell phone till 1999. I think 1999 or 2000 is when I got my first cell phone. And it was a Nokia. And man, that thing heated up and burned your ear hole because it was that analog. It hadn't gone digital. Man, them phones got hot. And you're like this holding it away from your ear because it got so hot if you talk a long time. Yeah, there's not a lot of those 33rd degree Masons. That is an honorary, and I know at my shrine there's only one selected per year to bestow them as a 33rd degree Mason. But again, if you're not in it, you probably don't know the whole story. Yeah, Liberty Layers. He's a 32nd degree Scottish Rite and York Rite Shriner and a Master Mason. Great group of men. You're right. And I know they've done documentaries and stuff like that and released a lot of information, but there's still a lot that people don't know. They think they know, but they don't know. But that's people do that. A lot of the negative stuff comes from people that have broken the rules and have been 8-balled out, and through their being pissed off, they just run their mouths and whatever. Do you? If it makes you feel good, keep doing it. Jailbait and Tackle Outdoors saying hello to everybody. That's Gary. He was one of our sponsors. He delivered some honey and hat hooks that we gave away at the meetup. I want to thank him personally for doing that for us. If you got one of those honeys, tell me what you think about it. Let's see. I have a tree that fell over my east fence. I need to head out and cut. Yeah. We drove into town and we seen a couple of big oak trees that just rooted up. Yeah, we'll see you, Bodie. Have a great day, brother. My father-in-law is a retired Air Force vet, Bronze Star. He was a senior master sergeant in the Air Force, Scottish Rite, honorary pass, master of his life. Oh, he was the master mason. Coast Guard Auxiliary. Yep. I did not know that. Good to know. We've had quite a few presidents that were Mason. There you go. Carly Texan, I didn't know that either. Yeah, I sure did. I awarding people. I try to get the outdoor channels, people who do hunting and fishing and stuff like that. And we did film Three Mississippi Mike at Three Mississippi getting his hat pin, his fishing hook hat pin. So yeah, we'll see if he keeps wearing it in his videos. Yep, Ginger. Hello, hello. Let me find her. There she is. Yep, Ginger, not for nothing. I call her Ginger Snap. You're a dude. Yeah. But I had other things here that I wanted to talk about, but like we always say, all of a sudden we get off on a tangent. Louisiana police arrested third person who helped the 10 escaped convicts. Connie Whedon, 59, sent cash to the fugitive Jermaine Donald via cell phone app, as 6 inmates still remain at large. So there were 10, they had 4, and this morning I heard they caught the 5th one that escaped from the detention facility in New Orleans. This lady here was the 3rd alleged accomplice, has been arrested in connection with the escape of one of 10 inmates from the Orleans Parish Correctional Facility, according to the Louisiana State Police. Miss Whedon is believed to have assisted the fugitive by taking into custody. She was taken into custody following an investigation. Authorities said Whedon gave cash to Donald via a cell phone, and those convicted of accessory after the fact shall be fined not more than $500 or imprisoned with or without hard labor for not more than 5 years, or both. A statement from the Louisiana State Police. So, you know what? It's and that goes to show you, it is, we got enough problems without opening the southern border and letting everybody else's fugitives come into our country and commit murders and DUIs and hurting and killing people, yada, yada, yada. We got enough problems of our own. we don't need the added of people coming in and doing the same thing. Hey, and over there in Lubbock, Texas, road constructions unearthed colossal prehistoric remains of a big old animal that was later identified as giant sloth. They're trying to build a loop around Lubbock, Texas. I know in Arizona, Mesa, you got the 202, the 201, and it loops instead of going through the highways. You can get to places faster on the loops. So they were trying to build that, and all of a sudden, construction workers, oh my gosh, there's a big old bone here. And it was too big to be a cow bone and stuff like that. So they stopped construction, called these paleontologists, a guy named Chris Ringstaff. He's a project manager with the Texas DOT for Environmental Affairs Division, said that they found megafauna bone, not usually in the region, which is significant because they thought they weren't there. He also said that these are the bones of a giant ground sloth that were identified, and they knew that because of the distinctive teeth that were still in the ground. But anyway, they had to stop that. So Lubbock, if you live in the Lubbock area, construction has come to a stop, a standstill. I did watch a thing on Discovery Channel that they thought they found the oldest people in the Americas. And then all of a sudden, they unearthed something that was here 15,000 years before they thought the oldest person in the Americas lived. So they have to go back and correct because they said, oh, nobody could live past 20 million years or whatever. And then all of a sudden, boom, they dug up some stuff that was 15 or whatever it was, much, much older than what they thought. No, nothing could live past that. In the history book, they said, and now they're biting their tongues. So, I mean, it's just like, they said the atom was the smallest thing and nothing could be, smaller than that. And then they splint that sucker, right? They said, oh, smoke, we have to change the history books because there's something even smaller than that. So, there is a possibility, and I don't think that all people were created all over the world. Like people said, all these lizards and things came out of the water and grew legs, and it just so happened that everybody looked the same all over the world. Usually things like that would never happen, where they, formed into humans and, but yeah, I'm thinking, I believe in the Adam and Eve story. I believe in the 12 tribes and God sent them out and made them distinctive to themselves and made their languages different. It's just, do you, okay? Do you? Yeah, Pelosi doesn't look like the sloth that she is. So there you go. You do you, I'll do me. And it's great to have conversation. It's great to disagree. But if you get angry when trying to make your point, you might want to relook your point. Okay? If someone doesn't agree with you and you get so angry that you want to harm someone, you might want to look at you. Okay? Because I love disagreeing with people that are totally the opposite of me. Okay? Ask my good friend Laura. I do it for fun. Yeah, aliens seeded the planet. Yeah, they just, and the pyramids were for giant spaceships to land on. All right. So, hey, it is 9:45. It is a Friday. I want to thank Paul Case for coming up here. If you want to be my special guest, just contact me. I'm more than happy to bring you up. I'll bring up as many as this thing will hold. And guys, I want to thank you. I want to thank everybody that helped out for Mid-America. I want to thank everybody for getting the messages out there in video format and posting them. And I'm looking forward to Pinecone Fest 2025, Mount Vernon, Texas, at Lake Cypress Springs at the Walleye Park. Beautiful, beautiful camping area, guys. It generally is a smaller crowd, but man, you get a lot of good time with one another. And hey, somebody might break out the karaoke machine. Okay. So remember, go over to Heard That and Heard That Outdoors for more information. I believe that they're going to have meetup information this Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on their channel. They will be live and they will be giving you information. They will be taking questions about the meetup. So they're there to answer all your questions. We will be there to support them. Guys, we love you. Remember, be kind to one another. Help somebody in need. And always think of that. Guys, we love you. God bless you. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys. I love you too, Evelyn. Yeah, and don't, like Paul said, don't forget the thumbs up when you leave out. We appreciate that too. Hey, and if you haven't liked and subscribed, what are you waiting for? Bye, guys.